You know, Laguna Woods Village has lots of great tribute bands, a lot of great shows coming here, and people have great entertainment. But if you want the real deal, well, just head a little bit south down to San Juan Capistrano, and you're going to find the Coach House. Doug Starks joins us today talking about the Coach House. Welcome to the program.
Yes, indeed we are. Thank you so much, man. It's good to be here.
Thanks for coming back. For folks who haven't been to the Coach House, I've been there. I've seen a lot of acts actually down there, and I've been to fundraisers down there. It's a great venue. But tell us a little bit about, it's a kind of a different concert experience. You're not sitting in the stadium seating at a big performing arts center.
It's, you know, it's a unique venue. A lot of nationally known, some legendary headliners prefer coming there. Mm-hmm. The worst seat in the house is 41 feet from the stage. Yeah. So the worst seat is the best seat that you get, like at a forum.
Yeah, and there's some interesting balcony seating as well for larger parties and that kind of thing. And so it's really an intimate setting. And they also do a little bit of a dinner too. So you make a whole night of it. You don't have to go out and like a reservation somewhere else.
Exactly. Great food, great places to sit, and it's like a family. It's been there 46 years. It's never changed hands.
Yeah.
A lot of legendary people have been there, and a lot of people. It's a routine place for a lot of people because they just like the Coach House.
Yeah.
You know, they like the feel, the vibe. You meet great people there.
Yeah, like you said, 46 years. As long as I can remember, the Coach House has been this place to go. And amazing acts. And I can't believe it, but the first one we're going to talk about, Wayne Newton this weekend. Wayne Newton's coming to the Coach House?
Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. And like I said, the Coach House it's a landmark venue. So a lot of performers look forward to playing it.
Yeah.
But Wayne Newton, Mr. Everything, Mr. Las Vegas.
God, he has the voice strength of a town crier. How is he still singing?
I don't know. He's got to just love it. He's got to just love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is it? Have you seen the act? Have you heard the act? I'm guessing he's doing his, the greatest hits of Wayne kind of thing.
Wayne playing multiple instruments. Wayne's quite the entertainer. I haven't seen this here. I've seen it in Las Vegas, and I was like leaning forward and mouth dropped like.
And he's been doing showbiz since he was like a 10-year-old kid. He was appearing on like the Ed Sullivan Show back in the day and that kind of thing.
I think he's been in the business like almost 70 years.
Yeah, that's
70
amazing.
years.
Yeah. So you're going to get a good show from Wayne.
He's a legend.
Yeah. And do you think like when the big artists come to a small venue, they kind of change things up a little bit because it does seem more intimate, right?
Yeah, they seem to connect more. They're not like pushing a program. Mm-hmm. I think the Coach House brings that out of artists because it is so much more intimate.
Yeah.
So they relax. They get to see people. They get to feel the crowd more than they would if it was just a black abyss because you can't see past the lights.
And literally, like the front row is like from me to you in terms of when you're on the stage. Well, if you're in the front, and so there's really that kind of like there's a connection to be made. And
you can even pull their socks up if you want.
Right? yeah, your shoes untied. But that's the thing about that, because when you go to a big concert, and I've been to a lot of big concerts too, you're separated. If there's security in the front, there's a separation. There's a barrier, and there's that distance that happens.
Exactly.
So folks come out there, sometimes they just do the show, and there's not a lot of audience interaction.
You can't mail it in at the Coach House.
No,
you can't phone it in. You've got to be there because people are right there. So, yeah.
And I imagine it would be a lot more fun, probably a little more talk, a little more engagement, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So Wayne Newton coming to us on March 30th.
March 30th.
And then on April 4th, the Kingston Trio?
Yes.
Are these the real? There's no way these are the real guys.
No, there's no way there's the real guys, right?
I mean, yes, I can see they're older in the picture, but they were back in the 50s, right?
They would have been in their, probably in their hundreds.
Yeah.
But these are descendants of, they have the rights to the music. It's like going down through the family like a legend or like a legacy.
Yeah.
And a lot of great hits. We like doing... we like serving all the different interest groups.
Sure.
A lot of places just do rock and just do things that they kind of disclude the senior market, and we like.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the Kingston Trio, they were kind of a folk, kind of a real, almost a soft. They made a kind of a transition in that time when rock and roll was kind of emerging as the big thing.
Yeah.
They had been doing some folk stuff, but they also kind of jumped into that market. They crossed over a little bit. So
a little bit, because they were in that in between period, right? Yeah,
when people were trying to figure out this new sound and maybe how do we adjust to that kind of thing. And so they did survive that. They didn't just go away, when rock and roll came around.
And they had their own style. because most of their songs were like storytelling, you know, and they had their own style, and I think that was made their popularity endure.
Right, and that kind of like the Art Guthrie and those kinds of people who are just storytellers, and when you hear the song, you have a beginning, middle, and end. There's a story arc going on. It isn't just a bunch of catch tunes and a cool riff.
And the harmonies too. Yeah. The harmonies are beautiful. Something you don't hear a lot of anymore.
Yeah. And it's just it's very cool. I think that's kind of a good walk down memory lane for folks who are interested in seeing what they're doing down there, and a good one. Tickets still available for Wayne Newton and the Kingston Trio?
And the Kingston Trio, and also Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Gilbert O'Sullivan?
Yes, yeah.
Again, I'm amazed at some of these guys. I feel like didn't he sing at Jesus' bar mitzvah?
He did this song called Alone Again Naturally. That was, I think, one of his biggest hits, and then one called Claire.
That was in '72. Alone Again Naturally.
Yep.
I remember. Yep. I wasn't totally.
Do you remember where you were?
I don't remember where I was. I was a little kid at the time, but I know that was one of the big hits of early '70s.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And it's kind of if you listen to the lyrics, it's a story song. It has heartache in there.
Yeah, it's not a sunshine song. It's not.
Yeah,
but it definitely captured a lot of sentiments, you know.
Yeah. And he's an artist. I think that there's an emote from him. You know, there's a feel to that where you get a feel for something. You don't have to know all the words to be like, oh, I get this feeling.
Exactly.
And again, kind of a poet singer. You know, not going up there with the hard rock and smashing the guitar on the stage.
Well, especially not nowadays, right?
No, you break a hip.
Yeah. He has, again, a unique way of connecting with an audience, you know. And a lot of times that comes with the instrument, the piano, it makes it easier, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you think a singer-songwriter like Gilbert and the trio, they have they're more apt to a place like the Coach House, you know? They don't need the big giant stage and the 100,000, seat arena.
I think you might be right. And because of the music itself is geared towards connecting, to storytelling.
Yeah.
Emoting to people.
Yeah. It's not a stand-up, jump around and dance on the dance floor, scream in your seat kind of thing. And you didn't pregame in the parking lot.
Right? It's kind of like a piano bar atmosphere on steroids. It's comfortable like that. Yeah.
And when you're down there, I imagine you've met some of the artists. What do they come away with at the Coach House? Do they find it just as unique as we'd have grown up around here? Do
most of the artists that have played there have been there before, so people remember them, and it's kind of a comfortable feel. They feel like they're coming back to the Coach House, not just going to the Coach House, but coming back. And the people in hospitality make the artists feel welcome and remember their names, and so and we have great food. So it's kind of like.
Yeah, and I imagine that because I saw America there many years ago when they were, I don't know if they're still touring or doing anything, but many years ago. And then the next year they came back. Well, that'd be kind of fun. Let's go see them again down there. So I feel like there's a return in people's on the bands certainly. Like let's make sure we get that Southern California joint in there.
Yeah, we have a lot of national headliners that are regulars at the Coach House because it's a fun place to play.
All right, let's get the information on the screen so that people know how to get tickets, how to get contacted in there. Coachhouse.com, right? That's the way to connect.
Coachhouse.com.
And tickets are available for all the shows we talked about. Gilbert O'Sullivan, the Kingston Trio, and the incomparable Wayne Newton this Saturday.
Mr. Las Vegas.
Doug Starks from Coach House, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll be right back with more. You're watching This Day.